On December 4th is when Shelley Berkley will be sworn in as the new mayor of Las Vegas. It'll mark the former Congresswoman's first return to political office since 2013, and it'll mark the first time in 25 years that Las Vegas has not had a mayor with the last name Goodman. Berkley takes the position as the city grapples with costly lawsuits and joins us now to talk about that and more. Shelley Berkley, mayor-elect of the city of Las Vegas, welcome to Nevada Week.
Thank you, and it's great to see you again. It's been a while.
It has been. I'm happy to have you back. People should watch the Nevada Week in-person interview we did, but this is the first time here on the show, at least with me. Those lawsuits, the city is reportedly on the hook for up to $650 million. There are talks, though, of a settlement somewhere in the range of $250, $260 million. What is your level of confidence that there will be a settlement reached, and when?
There will be a settlement reached because the city does not have an alternative. So I think it is very important to get this very dark episode behind us so we can move forward. It is not easy. We're not there yet. Hopefully we will be before the end of the year. We must be, in my opinion.
Why?
So, well, we don't know how much money that we will have to spend on the people that call the city of Las Vegas home. We are dealing with taxpayer money to satisfy a number of judgments that have gone against the city. We also will, no matter what, if it's at the high end of the negotiations or the low end of the negotiations, it's a substantial chunk of change, and the city is going to take a serious hit. And that means that the people, the taxpayers of the city of Las Vegas are taking a serious hit.
December 18th is the meeting when this could potentially next be discussed. Do you think it's going to get taken care of then?
Well, I would hope so. That gives the city almost a month to finally reach a final agreement. And I am, during my campaign, I talked about the necessity of settling this as quickly as possible. Again, I'll take the hit. It's not easy for any elected official to have to vote to satisfy a judgment of this magnitude, but I think it is imperative that we do so. We must.
No matter what the amount ends up being, how is the city going to pay for this? How is the city already trying to pay for this?
A number of ways. We do have reserves, and I think with my background and experience, I could help navigate this in very, very dark waters. But we'll do it. We'll move forward. I think our best years are ahead of us, but it doesn't make too much more sense to prolong this. It's been going on for 9 years. Full disclosure, I live in Queensridge, so I've been a part of this from the beginning. It's time to wrap it up.
For those who are unfamiliar with this situation, it was Badlands Golf Course, bought by a developer, wanted to build a housing project. Neighbors opposed it. Then zoning came into play, and the city said, no, you can't. And then this developer argues, you took that land from me, and now I'm suing you, and here we are.
And let me add some additional facts to this. The golf course, the Badlands, and by the way, the golf course clubhouse is where I had my engagement party 27 years ago. So I'm very familiar with that area. It was zoned. The golf course was zoned residential. The developer purchased the property knowing it was zoned residential. His project got unanimous approval from the Planning Commission, and it was stopped, in my opinion, for very political reasons by the City Council. We are now paying a very hefty price for some very bad decisions that were made early on.
What is the interest that the city is paying?
You know, I misspoke when you and I were talking about this earlier. When I was running for office, I was talking about the fact that the city is paying $20,000 a day in interest. That is not the case on the judgments. The reality is we are paying closer to $130,000 a day in interest. Right now, interest is stayed. Interest is in abeyance for the next 30 days to reach a reach an agreement with the developer. So the developer said, look, don't pay me for the next month the interest you owe me, although I could live very well on $130,000 a day. So I think it's incumbent upon the city to reach a resolution. My job is to protect the taxpayers of the city of Las Vegas. That's your job as mayor. You're protecting the city, but you also have to factor in what is the possibility of additional losses being racked up if we continue fighting this.
Right.
And it doesn't seem to make much sense. There hasn't been a court decision in favor of the city since the beginning.
Okay, and so hiring freezes are in place in anticipation of all this money having to be paid, or well, there is already money owed. Also, Cashman Field was put up for auction.
Yes, it was.
And you said that this was in an attempt to begin earning money to pay them, because I hadn't seen that reported anywhere else except when you told Tricia Keene at Channel 13.
They put out well, lack of a better word, RFP for people to bid on Cashman, hoping that they would get a good price, and we should. I mean, it's a great piece of property with no encumbrances. This is obviously, I'm not in office yet, I'm not the mayor yet, but they were hoping for a robust auction, and as it turned out, nobody bid on the property. And so hopefully they can restructure the RFP to make it more amenable to developers bidding on this property. Prime piece of property, it'll change that whole area, whether it's affordable housing, whether it's a hospital. There's a lot of uses for Cashman, but somebody's got to bid on that property, and hopefully we'll get, I think right now, a minimum bid is, and I might be mistaken, but about 35 million. If we could get more than that, that would be very helpful.
So the city is selling off assets at this point.
It pains me. I don't want to sell off any city assets, but that may happen in order to help satisfy this judgment. Look, we have to ensure, and the number one issue is public safety. We have to make sure that Metro has all of the resources they need to do the job that we have tasked them with, which is keeping all of us safe. Also, our fire department, we need to ensure that they have enough personnel and state-of-the-art equipment to help protect us, which is what we have tasked them with. So those are our priorities, but then there's so much else that the city does, grants and other things that we spend our taxpayer money on, that we're going to have to figure out what we can cut without really doing damage to the city. And remember, we are a growth city. This is a city that is continuing to grow, and unfortunately, I believe we'll be cutting services for the foreseeable future. However, long-term, city of Las Vegas is hot as a pistol. All of Southern Nevada is. I think our best years are coming, and the next 10 years are going to be explosive.
What services make most sense to cut first?
I don't know yet. I think the first one and the most obvious was a hiring freeze and not replace. It's not only hiring new people, it's making sure if somebody resigns or quits, that you don't fill that position. And salaries dominate almost every budget, so that is a cost savings. There are reserved. It'll be a combination of things to satisfy the judgment. But right now, the priority, at least for me, what's the number? What is the judgment that we have to satisfy before we start cutting or doing anything else?
You brought up public safety. Does this mean that Metro cannot hire officers right now?
My daughter-in-law works for Metro, not on the front line, but she's one of the many, many thousands of people that work for Metro. Since she's a department head, she got the memo saying, don't hire. You know, don't replace, don't hire, don't purchase equipment. So yes, for the foreseeable future, the city, and quite appropriately, is being very frugal. And I was telling you earlier before we went on the air, it's little things that I'm very cognizant of. I think I was told that I have a budget for furniture when I become mayor. And I went up yesterday to the mayor's office and I looked at the furniture. This is great. we're not replacing anything. It's fine the way it is, because I also want to do my part when it comes to the city and the city finances. No need for extra expenditures.
Okay. Being frugal.
Being frugal.
I know you have also had an issue with the courtyard, the homeless courtyard that the city of Las Vegas built and operates. You're excited, though, about a new bill from last legislative session to build. You know what? You'll have to explain to me what you know about it, because the language itself does not say much about it, but it's a matching program, $100 million to build some sort of large regional campus for the homeless?
Thanks to Governor Lombardo and the legislature, they appropriated $100 million for the homeless, with the understanding that the resort corridor would kick in $100 million, so there would be $200 million to build a campus that would house anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 homeless people for a year and more, just to not only get them off the streets, job training, mental health therapy, opioid addiction and alcohol addiction therapy, so you can take people from the streets that are ready to get off the streets and be rehabilitated, and give them an opportunity to participate in this. I understand that the different municipal entities will be expected to help maintain the facility, and I think that's appropriate. I'm very anxious, once I get sworn in, to sit down with the different municipalities. Obviously, I know them all. They're friends of mine. How are we going to work collaboratively? The homeless don't know they've crossed over the city boundary and they're now in the county. But we have to provide services, and I don't think anybody should be living on the streets. It is a dangerous place, and everything we can do to get people off the streets, we absolutely have to do that. It's also important for business, because if you have homeless people impeding the ability of your customers to get into your front door, it's harming your business. A lot of these little mom and pops in downtown Las Vegas that are popping up all over the place, their life savings are tied up in those businesses.
But downtown is also where the Corridor of Hope already is.
Yes.
You have Catholic Charities, Salvation Army, you have
Rescue
the courtyard.
Mission.
This proposal sounds very similar to that. Why is this needed when this system's already in place?
I think it's quite different, and I think hopefully it's a step up. I mean, you have to be able to qualify to go into this new facility that's yet to be built. I mean, so I understand that they would like to have the property that's on West Charleston around Jones and Torrey Pines in that area. I drive by. I live in Queensbridge, so I drive down Charleston a lot. I keep looking for the land. Where is this going to be? But if we can get 1,000 people off the streets at a time, and give them the mental health therapy that they desperately need, give them the opioid and alcohol addiction therapy that they need, and give them job training, and hopefully with the resort corridor being a part of this, that there'll be jobs available once you leave the facility. I think that is a very important first step. And I'm hearing from other developers that there, one in North Las Vegas, right across the street from the VA hospital, a proposed 800-bed facility for homeless veterans. 20% of our homeless are vets. If we can take care of that issue, so we're making inroads. And again, the courtyard definitely serves a purpose. It's the only municipality in Southern Nevada that is providing these services. But what is it? What is it? What could they do better? What, if anything, are they doing wrong? And if not, how can we service more homeless people and get them off the streets?
That campus that is being proposed, 20 to 25 acres. I imagine you're going to have people in that area saying, no way, do not build that here. I mean, that's an issue with affordable housing, the not in my backyard, and this isn't zoned for that, so no way.
I think it's very important, and you're quite right. Everybody recognizes that we need affordable housing in Southern Nevada. It's a supply and demand issue. We have a very limited supply of affordable housing and a huge demand. The first house that my parents ever bought in Nevada, in Las Vegas, was cost $33,000. It wasn't exactly the Taj Mahal, but we owned it. We were property owners. We belonged here, and I can't help but it changed the trajectory of my family, along with getting a good education. But that home ownership mattered. I can't help but believe that there are thousands of families out there, two people working and getting a decent salary and still can't afford a down payment. So the more affordable I'm not talking about Section 8 housing. I'm not talking about creating an environment where crime or anything is gonna thrive. I'm talking about middle income families like my own parents, where my dad was a waiter, that want a clean and affordable and safe place to raise their children. I don't think that's asking a lot.
Shelley Berkley, we look forward to having you back on to talk more about that. Real quick, before we let you go, tell us your memories of Lois Tarkanian.
Oh, I'm so glad you asked me
Late
that.
city councilwoman, former school board member.
School board member, Board of
education
Regents.
advocate.
Yes,
And then
yes.
she did have that famed Running Rebels basketball coach. as a
Yes, she
husband.
did. I love Lois. I will always love Lois. We worked together. We became very friendly when I was on the Board of Regents, and that was during the Maxim Tarkanian challenges that the entire state had, but was unique to UNLV. And I was on the Board of Regents at the time. She and I became very close then. I was very friendly with Jerry. And thought he did a magnificent job as coach. She went on after his death to continue her public service, and I will miss her. Until the day I die. She was quite an institution and just gave up her life to public service. And I think she will be very well remembered. It was a life well led. And she was the most devoted wife I have ever come in contact with, and a wonderful mother, grandmother. A woman was an institution.
And she endorsed you for
Yes,
mayor.
she did. Yes, she did. And I really appreciated that.
Las Vegas Mayor-elect Shelley Berkley, thank you for joining Nevada Week.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.